designed for keeping secrets in my head, or any space you can find. Glad to see that I could help make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
Oh boy. It's Thursday, boys and girls. You thought you lost me, but you didn't. It's time for another edition of Butch On Sports. I'm simply Butch, and as always, thanks for tuning in. Yes, it is on a Thursday. Long week here. We try to get caught up with everything that's been going on in sports and give you some sports news that you just can't get enough of. Shall we go with it here? Let's start off with a bang and a boom. And as always, thanks for tuning in. If I said that once, I'll say it again. Detroit Tigers played their final home game on this stand. They'll be on the road for 8 more games. Yes, on the road for 8 games before they come back to the Motor City to entertain you again. But they left out with a bang and a boom. They beat the Minnesota Twins twice in a row. And they finally capped it off with an afternoon matinee win as Jacoby Jones' 2-run homer capped a 3-run 7th inning as the Detroit Tigers came from behind and beat the Minnesota Twins 3-1 on Thursday afternoon. Yes, today. Yes. Jacoby Jones was hitting in a slump that I don't really care to talk about, but it was bad. In his last 10 games, he's been batting a total of 135. And that smells. So, he had struck out the first 2 times he went to the bat. And the third time he came up against Lance Lynn on a 3-2 fastball and hit his 5th home run of the season. Rallying that Tigers, by the way that is, for 3 runs that particular. And came back. Came back and won. Minnesota winning 1-0 until that particular 7th inning, and yes, things improve here. The Tigers are 23-17 at Comerica Park this season. That is very much so a very good record at home, boys and girls here, for many of us, and I say many of us, who thought the Tigers would be just pitiful. But they, right now, at this present, is respecting, take care of home. And that's more I can say for a lot of our home teams or sports teams in this vicinity. So, with that saying here, the Tigers will be going on an 8-game road trip there. They are 10-20 away from home. And hopefully they can improve that particular there. It will kind of get them a lot closer to Cleveland, who, by the way, is in first place in this division. That seems like no one wants to take over. But, by the way, let me tell you something. Cleveland is getting warmed up. And they get warmed up and warm well enough here, they're going to leave everybody behind. I promise you that. They will. They will leave everybody behind. Chicago White Sox are the next opponent for the Detroit Tigers in Chicago. You bet your bottom down there in Chicago right now. It was about 8 o'clock when we did this particular show here. And they're tasting on some food, maybe on Prentice Row or on Michigan Ave. And in their room watching a movie or something, or just out there having a couple of brewskis. Nice and cold, that is. And getting some rest because they'll take care of the Chicago White Sox or be the visitors for the Chicago White Sox at I call it Old Comiskey Park. It's probably something else, Seliger Park or whatever it may be. I don't know. Just leave it alone. We'll leave it alone there. Let's move on here. The University of Detroit Mercy, for the last 3, 4, 5 years, have been looking pitiful. And Barakas Alexander just couldn't get it done there. A former Southwestern graduate, I should say, there. However, new sheriff's in town for the basketball program and a veteran coach to lead, hopefully, to lead the Titans back to a championship contention. As Mike Davis, yes, Mike Davis, not my brother, that is, but Mike Davis is named the 22nd coach in the program's history today. Yes. Robert C. Viles, the junior director of athletics at Detroit Mercy, said that hiring of Davis gives the men's basketball team a proven coach who will work well with the student athletes and has big game experience. And this guy does here. The university also announced, and I thought this was very, very, very instrumental here for people to hear, and every likewise here. With the high prices of universities going up, and never going down, the university announced their public phase of a $100 million campaign in late October with a move that $87 million raised up to date right now. They have raised $87 million. And this is what they want to do. And this has been going on since late November 2017. The university launches an Assure Your Boundless Future tuition reset. Now, this means that the reset tuition from $42,000 has been reduced to $28,000, put the Detroit Mercy education in reach of students and families who did not previously consider going to the university for their college plans. That is something else. University is a private school, is a Jesuit school, is a good school, and a very, very talented school indeed. Davis comes to Detroit Mercy, by the way, from Texas Southern University, where he spent the last 6 years and built the Tigers into perennial power in the Southwest Athletic Conference, which was called the SWAC. With 5 postseason tournament appearances, including 4 NCAA bids. The high school basketball star in the state of Alabama, Davis played his collegiate basketball at the University of Alabama before he embarked on a professional career. His coaching resume includes 20 or more experience in college coaching, including 18 years of head coaching experience. He has a nice little record of 352 and 241 record with 14 postseason trips, 9 appearances in the NCAA tournament, and guiding Indiana to a national championship runner-up effort. Yes, he was that coach at University of Indiana when Bobby Knight got thrown out in the street. I mean, his squad has recorded at least 20 wins 9 times while posting a winning record in 14 of his 18 campaigns. What a deal here. Right now, the Mercy's getting a fine. Now, the problem with UD Mercy is they don't get always the top people that come to the university. That hasn't happened since Perry Watson has left there. Perry Watson had a way of getting some of the city kids, city young men, to come to the University of Detroit, and also Dick Vitale as well. But since then, there has not been a magic, a wand been spinning around there that they have been able to attract some of the top flight stars to come to their school and participate in NCAA, which is the Horizon Conference. It's not a bad conference at all. It's not one of the top conferences there, but again, that kind of get everybody wondering with all the talent here in the city of Detroit metropolitan area and also the state of Michigan. Why is UD Mercy always in the hole? And they're so much successful in other sports like lacrosse and swimming and golf. They are very successful teams in that. But in basketball lately here, they haven't gotten it done. And Mike Davis is the one they pick right now to get that taken care of. He rolled with a 5-year contract There's some guesstimates on what he's making per year. Some say $400,000 a year. I don't know. I'll find out. And if I don't, who cares? We got a prime coach that hopefully can go around here and recruit some kids to come to the school. And not only that, but he's going to probably be able to get some kids from down south to come up here in the city of Detroit to break bread over there on Livernois and McNichols Avenue there, and make this team a lot better there. So let's cheer University of Mercy on, and let's cheer them on especially for the reduction. It is a high-priced college, but it's a very good college indeed. The reduction on, yes, getting the families and friends in the metropolitan Detroit area and around the state of Michigan to maybe consider UD Mercy in doing their bidding there. I think that's a very good thing. Now, if they can just reduce the prices at the dental school and all that, they'd be okay. If you did not hear, for the first time in 32 years, the Men's World Cup is coming back to North America. And not only North America, but Mexico too. FIFA, 200 and some odd member association gathered in Moscow on Wednesday, and they voted to award the World Cup hosting for the United States, Canada, and Mexico in the year 2026. Those are some years away, boys and girls. Yes, those are some years away. But I tell you now, the venues are probably already set. The finals will be played in Giant Stadium. Yes, it will. Or whatever they call it in those days. Maybe some advertiser might buy the rights and they'll rename it again. We'll just say Giant Stadium there. That is a pretty good production there. The vote was 134 to 65 in favor of the North American bid, the product of dedicated printing and campaigning. They beat out only one rival. Morocco was the only country that was fitting enough to get involved in this particular situation here. And indeed, the World Cup is coming to the United States now. Hopefully we have it. Now, by the way, in the old past days, there was only like a 12-member panel that would be voting on everything, and they in so much deep water, a majority of those panel people are gone or in jail or dead. Because that's how messed up FIFA was as far as the soccer was concerned. Quada got the bid for the next 4 years, when many people thought that United States should have gotten it there. Now, one thing about Quada there is the time they have the World Cup, it's going to be hot as a firecracker. So they're trying to figure out, and the big figure thing is they're trying to figure out, although the country is very rich, and they got the venues to service that, it's how they're going to keep the players and also the fans from overheating. So they might change the format around where they do it in a cooler climate, where it won't affect the players and the coaches and all this other good stuff like that there. But yet and still, soccer will be back in the United States. And by the way, they get an automatic bid. I do believe Canada will get an automatic bid, United States get an automatic bid, Mexico will get an automatic bid, and also the expansion from 32 teams will go up to 48. So yes, we're going to see more teams partaking in world soccer for that prestigious trophy. Second to none. I don't understand what it is, but it's a trophy. It's a trophy. I like soccer. By the way, if you didn't see the game today, Russia crushed, and I mean they beat the slop out of Saudi Arabia by a score of 5-0. was able to walk in the house and see the last part of the game that was on very early today and lingered on until early in the afternoon. And seemed like the last, from 71 minutes on, that's when Russia went to town on the Saudi Arabia. And then scored 2 goals in overtime, followed by the final play of the game was a free kick, which also Russia banged into the net there. It wasn't an exhausting game. It wasn't a boring game, but these were teams that not expected to be in the quarterfinals or the semifinals. Although Russia with the 5-0 victory there, they assured themselves of something here going to the next round. They scored 5 goals, and the first doggone determination of ties or what it may be is goals scored and points. And Russia scored an automatic 3 points with this win today. And they also got some consideration for 5 goals. Nonetheless, they probably reassured themselves of hosting in one of those great positions to get out of their group here. So, hip hooray for Russia and what they did today. That was pretty good. Tomorrow will be the big day where the big game that everybody will be looking at is Portugal and Spain. 2 good doggone teams will be going at it tomorrow with some stars that Ronaldo and the list goes on and on. It's going to be some good soccer played tomorrow. Starting at 7 o'clock in the morning on Fox Sports 1. But after maybe 10, 11 o'clock, you can go to Fox and watch the soccer match, the doubleheader that they'll have, including that big game I just mentioned to you, Portugal and Spain. Fox is going to be very busy this weekend with soccer for the next month, exclusively on the channel, as well as the U.S. Open that's going on was on today on Fox Sports, or not Fox Sports, but the regular Fox Network. You know, I don't have the final stats there, but I know who's leading. Johnson is leading in that particular day. I think a 3 under or something there. But that golf course they have has given everybody the flux. I've not seen so many overpowers in all my live long days. All 150-something people who are participating in that, or more. Tomorrow's a big day because it's cut day. And that includes people like Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson. The list goes on and on and on. Name stars are in that right now who are just not doing good at all. So let's find out who makes the cut tomorrow there, and we'll kind of report it on a late night, Friday, early Saturday morning show. Yes, we'll be doing the podcast then. We will do that. We'll do it for you. Let's move on. Detroit Red Wings today announced the schedule for the 2018 development camp that will be held at the Bedford Training Center inside Little Caesars Arena from June the 26th to the 30th. The camp will begin on Tuesday the 26th and feature on the ice skill development and off the ice workouts each day, including a scrimmage on Saturday, June the 30th. This runs in coincide of the 2 teams that will be taking place. Team Howell and Team Lindsay will feature daily on-ice instructions. Excuse me, boys and girls. On-ice instruction, skill development, and a team led by Grand Rapids Griffin coaching staff and the Red Wings player development staff as well. Attendees will also take part in the NHL off-ice workout and attend classes designed to help players transition to professional ice hockey while experiencing the state-of-the-art players' amenities offered at Little Caesars Arena. And receive feedback from the Red Wing coaching staff and management. Yes, they will do this. That's what's going to happen. Of course, remember, boys and girls, next week is the draft on the 22nd and 23rd. The NHL entry draft, primary players selected by Detroit over the last several entry drafts will be taking part in this particular experience known as the training development camp there. So you're going to see draft choices from the year ago who took the part in maybe the OHA, or the OHL, I should say there, OHL, association is a league. And they'll be participating in that. Also, some rookies that may be made up through the Griffins and whatnot there. And some Red Wings who maybe came up the latter part of the season will also be taking part in this instructionary camp and development camp so they can make their cut and do their thing before they get to work on business and finding out who's going to stay and who's going to go to Traverse City to partake in the camp up there, and that'll kick off the Red Wings season by getting these kids in shape. And this is like their the National Football League OTAs. That's what I kind of like to call this here, the OTAs of the camp. Oh boy! Finally, my final story here before we go into the sunset here. For decades long, the Red Wings, while they was winning, of course, and doing a whole lot of great stuff there at the old Joe Louis Arena and over there in Olympia, the source of strength would come from the octopus. And those octopuses were always something that, behold, I would never find out where they came from until about 3 or 4 years ago, where I kind of questioned around outside and asked people where you get it. And they would divulge to me where they would go to this place called Superior Fish Company. It's on 11 Mile Road near Main Street in Royal Oak. And for years, everybody been rushing over there, and this guy was order octopus and octopi, small, little, big, whatever size you want, and even had kits available there that it would be in plastic bags all ready to go with gloves, including gloves, okay? So you can sneak it down there. Most people were sneaking in their pants, women too. I don't know how they did it, but they had to smell from the beginning to the hockey match all the way home in the car. But it's a tradition in Detroit there when they get these playoffs going, or someone will score a hat trick or something of that nature, or beginning of the season, and somebody will throw an octopi on the ice. What a merry season. Even they had penalties for their home team one time or another because these octopi was going on there, would delay the game. Of course, that got thrown out in the street by the NHL as fans really retaliated on that one big time. Well, their last day of business, Superior Fish Company, I would say, on 11 Mile Road near Main Street in Royal Oak, is closing. Their last day of full service is going to be on this Saturday. There's going to be a lot of sale on frozen fish, pieces of the store. They're going to have a garage sale for those particular things. And just as they sold seats at Joe Louis Arena, the following week, they're fortunate enough, they're going to have a relationship with the Red Wing fans and co-owner Kevin Dean. They're going to have a O-Fish Owl Octopi supplier that came up with the octopi, which basically is a properly etiquette for the propelling of some kind of stuff here. I never know there. But again, this place, they were ready to go. They made some bucks in octopus, not to eat, but to throw on the ice at the neighborhood arena there. That's including Little Caesars Arena. Again, the 8-legged creatures were in a plastic bag along with a pair of rubber gloves, and was sealed enough so you can sneak it in your pants or your legs or whatever it may be, however you got it in there. I know when you busted open that bag, you smelled. And many other people knew that you smelled indeed. And again, I feel sorry for the people who rode with you. And that car that took in that fish smell so heavily, not so much in closed environments there. I feel sorry for the cars. But again, we wish Kevin Dean well as the business is not booming there at that particular fish place, and they decide to let it go. That place, the fish place, has been there for over 75 years, and it started by his father there, who basically, this kid, 7D, who's the owner of it now, he's 8 years old, we talked about today. 8 years old cleaning fish and helping our dad and stuff when he wasn't in school. And it's really something really special with our Red Wings fans there, who, by the way, really took it in of some good stuff there. We're done. We're done for this edition of Butch On Sports. And I don't know why, but it's got to end sooner or later. We'll be on this weekend, Friday night, Saturday morning. We'll be on. And we'll take it on in and hopefully give you some good news about the Tigers. We'll have some more World Cup news. We'll venture into the Open and have more exclusive. Not only the golfers who made the cut, but those golfers who did not make the cut, as they look awful today. Oh boy, they sure did. I don't know. Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions. Y'all check me out on Facebook. Go to Butch On Sports on Facebook. You'll get a whiff of that. You can also check me out at Podomatic.com. Go SIMPLYBUTCHTOO.Podomatic.com. You can also go to the one and only Scott Mason Game Sports Show on Facebook. You get a whiff of all the goodies like the Boston Pizza Revolution with Dave McKay and friends. And also check me out on the game on Monday night, 6 o'clock. We'll be at the Wicked Sister once again. And I got to make a trip up there pretty soon there. It'll be soon. Watch out. Watch out, Sault Ste. Marie. Butch is coming into town. Hey, y'all have a good Thursday, a pleasant Friday. It's going to be hot in the state of Michigan. And do your thing. Butch On Sports is a presentation again of Oh My Darling Productions. We'll be on this weekend. Check it out.